Hey everyone, Mai here with Bumblebee Acupuncture and traditional Japanese acupuncture. Yeah, so let's talk about it. First off, let's talk about how you should properly use your needle. And all of you are like, what? I've been to school for like 3 years. I've been practicing for 10 years, or 5 years, or 20 years. I know exactly what I'm doing, and I don't need your help. Well, I'm here to say that you just might. And if you don't, great. That's even better. You should go out and teach the acupuncturists down the hall in your office building what they are doing wrong. And so what we're going to learn, how you properly hold a needle. And you're like, okay, super simple. And I'm all, yeah, the simple stuff really, really matters. To know, and the reason why is it's going to help you get more in touch with your needle. And to understand how your needle works means understanding how to translate your chi through that needle. So let's get started. So I'm just going to take out one of the basic needles that I always use when I am practicing on myself. Or if I'm practicing with my little, whatever this is. Anyway, so I made this, well actually I had my classmate make this for me in school. So it was an assignment, a homework assignment that I had in school in Japan, and I made it so many times, and every single time I could not get my homework assignment completed. So I ended up asking a friend in my class who was very, very good at making them and very sweet to make mine for me, and so I'm very grateful. I used to have like 2 or 3 of them, and I ended up, when we moved from Japan to the US, just keeping the one because, hey. So anywhere. What's in here is rice bran, and so you compress the rice bran into like an aluminum like tray or bowl or whatever. It's pretty deep, right? And you compress it and compress it and compress it, and then you take some of these Japanese kimono fabric, and this is a very specific fabric that you have to use. If you're interested in how to make them, I can give you the directions, but again, I'm not very good at making them, so I'm not going to go with you on how to make them. So then you put a layer of kimono fabric, and then you put more of this rice bran on top and pack it, pack it, pack it, pack it, and you put another layer, pack, 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 and then finally you get what is this, which is something that resembles the human body. So it has several different layers with textures and some indurations and some deficiencies, and this is what we used at my school, Toyo ShinKyu, to learn how to needle. So I'm going to give you guys the rundown on the basics of learning how to use your needle correctly, because I have been to so many international tours and seen so many acupuncturists and helped so many people that I'm like, let's take it back a notch. I know it's really interesting to learn how to help diabetes patients or to help this pain or to help this syndrome, and it's not super flashy, but just learning the basics of how to hold a needle can completely change your practice. So I'm going to move the camera down. So bye-bye face. All right, so we have my little needle practice thingy. Don't know what to call that thingy. Yep. And then I have a silver needle. This is about the size of a blue sarin, so 20-40-ish, I'm guessing. These are all handmade needles. I believe this one is going to be Maida made over in Japan. Yes, Maida. It doesn't have the holes on it. And then I have my little needle pillow here. And so you can see I have like a gold teishin that's really thin and a few different sizes of silver needles. Again, I only use these ones on myself because reusing needles is just scary. So we're going to use our needle. So I've seen a lot of people, when they hold their needle, hold it like this. Never, ever, ever do this. Don't do it. So when you hold your needle like this, what you're doing is, first of all, your knuckles are at a very odd angle, right? Secondly, you cannot transmit your energy from your fingers into something that is not directly coming out of your fingers. So don't ever, even when you are taking your needle out of the patient, don't ever, ever, ever hold your needle on the side. Hold it straight out, just like that. Perfect. Yep. All right, now, next thing, don't dart. You're not playing darts here, okay? So I'm going to take out my guide tube. Where are you, guide tube? Guide tube. So this is also a silvered guide tube. And so this guide tube is actually a Sugiyama Shindenryu style guide tube. So Sugiyama Waichi, if you all don't know, is the guy who created the guide tube. He made it easier for everybody, including the Chinese, to insert needles. So if you're a freehander, all more to you, and we will cover freehanding at some point, I'm sure. If not, most people are using guide tubes. So we're going to learn how to load. My friend Mark, I'll try to link his video below, has a great video on how to do this. So I'm just going to show it really, really quick because no one likes talking to my hands. And so yeah, really quick. And then if you want more in-depth stuff, I would go to look at Mark's video because it rocks. Okay, so we're going to hold our needle. I just finished saying don't ever hold it sideways, but you're going to hold it sideways when you reload. And you're going to hold your guide tube in your, there we go, in your pinky and kind of not really your third and fourth finger, kind of in that crease. And you're going to take it, maybe if I can hold like this, there we go. And I'm going to slip it in. Now you can see my hand is already like involuntary starting to move, and that's because when you put your needle in, you need to make sure your guide tube is, the bottom of your guide tube is on your palm. And that's because it's going to catch the needle when it falls into the guide tube. And now I'm going to take my fingers and I'm going to rotate. Now I never rotate with the guide tube down because you will drop your needle out of the guide tube and then you will lose your needle if you're actually in practice. So always rotate with the bottom of your guide tube down, and then you're going to roll it up your first finger. See how it's kind of like, it's hard to get. Guide tube, needle, caught on my thumb. So again, I'm not going to drop the needle this time. I'm just going to show you guys how to drop it one more time. So again, on the palm, I'm going to rotate around. And then it's caught on that the pad of my first finger. And then I am ready. I am just so ready to start my needling practice. So I'm going to put my guide tube right on the pressure point, or the acupuncture point that you want to use. So you're going to find your acupuncture point. Always palpate the body, say hello to it, exchange some energy, figure out where it's deficient, where it's excess, and then find that point that you want. I'm going to use this one right here, and I know it's that one because I have a little black dot. You can't really see anymore because I've worn it away, but there's a little black dot right there in the middle. And so that is the point that I always want to find. And so I find my little black dot. It's a little bit deficient. I've practiced on this too much. And then I'm going to make my oshide. Oshide is the left, not the right, unless you are left-handed, and then it is the right-handed. But anyway, so I'm going to find it, and I'm going to pop this up so you can kind of see how my oshide looks here. So don't look from this part up. We're just looking right here at my hand. Do you see how it's kind of like a half moon? So you can either have two placements for your oshide. It can either be a full moon or a half moon. Those are the two standard, and there's other ways to do it too, but we're not going to cover that today. So anyway, so I'm going to find my point. I'm going to say hello about 3 times of gentle palpation in a clockwise motion. When you're doing this, you're finding again the depth of the point, where the energy has come from, where the induration or deficiency is, which direction you want to put your needle in, how deep or what depths. There's multiple depths, which there can be. Then you're going to make your oshide, and you're going to slip in your needle. You can also find your point, put your needle, your guide tube in, and then put your thumb to hold it. So, and then you can see it's pretty much, you know, perpendicular. I mean, of course, I can use my oshide to change the direction of that needle, which is why the oshide is so awesome. And then I'm going to use my right hand from my dantian. So as you can see, my posture automatically corrected because I don't ever want to put a needle in when I am schlumping. When you schlump, you just put the needle in from your finger and it hurts. So we're never going to schlump. I want you to sit. If you're sitting, try to have your knees wide. I can't because I'm holding this right now. But anyway, the best posture that you can with your body. You're going to have a soft hand here. You can see right now I have a lot of pressure in my guide tube and my guide tube hand right here. So I'm just going to relax that out. And then I'm going to make as much in this chair as I can. Let's back you guys up. I'm going to make as much of a qigong horse stance kind of thing as I possibly can. And I'm going to tap 3 times. That's right, not once. Don't tap once. We're not playing darts. Okay, So we're going to tap 3 times, all right? So ready? First tap is just to get through the first layer of skin. The very first layer. It's like thinner than a piece of paper, okay? So we're going to just one little tap. Once we get through that little tap, we're going to go twice down. And after twice, you will get all the way to the top of the guide tube. So 1, 2. Okay? And you take off your guide tube. Now you are ready to manually manipulate your needle. So again, fingers coming straight on the handle of the needle. And I can now manually manipulate. I can twist, I can thrust, I can do all these different techniques. We're not going to do those today. We're going to take it out. Get ready to reload. Okay, now when we reload, with the same time, we're finding our point. Because remember, time is money, and you only have so much time to see with each patient. If you're like me and you have, 30 minutes, 45 minutes with just one patient, great. If you're like most acupuncturists who have multiple rooms, don't know how you do that because God, it would bug me. Anyway, good for you. Keep your multiple rooms, but make sure each moment that you are in that room that you're using it correctly. So again, palpate, find the point. Again, about 3 times. Sometimes I end up doing 4. And you're just going to keep practicing. Remember, even when I take out my needle, my fingers are straight, straight, straight. This is not straight. Do not take your needle out like that. Make sure it is out straight from your fingers. I cannot emphasize this enough. It will completely change your practice. Why? Because when your needle is directly in line with your fingers, you can translate the energy from your dantian all the way up your renmindu and all the other meridians into your arm, out of your fingers, and straight into the needle. And then the extension of your fingertip will be this needle. And so you will be able to feel, and should be able to feel, the inside of your patient's body via the tip of your needle. So this little itsy bitsy needle that you can't even barely see, that will be your eyes, your ears, and your feelers. So that is it for today, guys. So it's a very, very easy lesson. I am sure all of you are like, totally got that. I've been doing it for 20, 35 months, whatever. I've been to school. I know what I'm doing, but I'm here to say that most acupuncturists, when they're not paying attention, they don't do this. And it's just so, so relevant. So again, needle straight out of the fingers. Make sure you're using your oshide with a soft, supple body, and that you're sitting up straight when you tap in 3 times. That's not once, not twice, 3 times. And make sure that you are not darting the patient. I often see this. That is not the proper way to insert a needle. When you do that, you're bypassing the epidermal and the dermal layers and part of the fascia in some instances, especially on these thin layers here in your neck or your face or the inner arms. You are passing through the fascia and missing all of the information that that patient's body is trying to translate to you. And it's such a waste. You could be learning so much more from every single patient. And really, anybody who's out of school definitely knows it's not what you learn in school, it's what you learn out of school from your patients. They are your real teachers. So honor them by honoring your practice. Practice for 5 minutes every day on yourself. I always recommend people to practice on themselves. Do moxa on your stomach 36 and your spleen 6, or just do moxa on your spleen 6 and needle on your stomach 36 every single day. And you not only will become a healthier person because you are supporting your immune system and your GI tract function, you are also learning about how your technique actually feels and what is cool about that. All right, so if you guys want to learn more, don't forget to subscribe down below, hit that like button, share as much as you like on Facebook. Remember, I'm Maya with Bumblebee Acupuncture. Thanks so much.